Hello, hello. Welcome back to Shanificent. My name is Shani and I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for being here. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. It's the end of 2023. What the hell? It went pretty quickly. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. We all perceive time differently. But this year has been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a very spiritual year. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. It is hard to even understand and define what spiritual means. But what I mean by that is it's been a very internal year. It's been a very solitary year. If you find you've spent more time alone than you ever have in your life, or this year has been a year where the most significant things that have happened to you are the things that have happened to you when you're alone with yourself. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by a spiritual year. It's been a spiritual year, which is super tough. Let's talk about being alone with yourself for a second. Like, that's super tough. That's spiritual years are very scary for most people. Like, in a spiritual year, you will absolutely have to face fear. You will have to face fear. You just will. You'll have to face the unknown, because that's spirituality. Actually, it is our relationship with the unknown. I think that's a pretty decent definition for spirituality. So you probably had to be alone in some way, somehow. There might be something you've gone through that you can't really, it's an experience that you can't relate, that no one else can relate to. You don't really feel like you can even explain or put into words. It's just hard for other people to understand. And it might have made you feel a bit alone. And if that's happened, if that's the case, I'm sorry. I know that's really tough. It is really tough to feel like you're the only one that goes through things. But the reason why solitude is a thing, the reason why sometimes you're forced to be alone, like a year like this, and this year we were forced to be alone. The reason why we're forced to be alone is because those solitude generates power, real power, not the power you see on social media, not the power you see on the news, not that idea of power, like followers and influence. Like that is definitely power, but it's not the true source of power. It's not like true power, like real power. True power is the power that you already have within you, and it's about unearthing that power. True power is unearthing the power that you already have within you, and that's what this year was about. This year was about unearthing your own power, some way, somehow. Because guess what? Your power is right there with you. It is with you. You don't need to source it from outside of you. You don't need to source it through how much money you have, through the job you have, through the friends you know, through the people you know, through the clothes you have, through the cars you have. You don't need to, because you already have power. You already have power. Everyone is born with power. Everyone has access to their own power. Human beings are powerful on their own. They were born powerful. Like, we're powerful people. We're having a powerful experience as people living on this planet, you know? Why do you have power? Or like, what do you mean by that? What does that kind of power look like? It's the power to change. It's the power to transform yourself. One thing I was just talking about with someone about, like, what I'm proud of. One thing I'm proud of doing this year is that I saw I needed to change. And then I did it. I knew I needed to change, and then I initiated the change, and then I went through the change, and I did the change, and now I'm different. Now I'm different. And I was saying, like, that has a lot of power in it. It does. It does. Power, internal power, is the ability to become whoever you need to be in a real and like in a real way, and in a way with integrity. It's not like being fake in different moments. It's moving to a new country and seeing, oh my God, these people are so different. They're so different. I'm not used to this. I'm gonna have to be like this in order to be a peaceful person, in order to feel peace. Okay? If I want to experience peace, I'm gonna have to change. And then actually changing, and then being new and going through that process consciously, like, that's super powerful. And that is what this year was asking you to do. So if you feel like you're in a completely different place to where you were at the beginning of this year or this time last year at the end of 2022, you've done well. Congratulations. You've done it. You've done what was required of you this year. I know it was scary, I know it was terrifying, but sometimes the things that scare us are just the things we need. And I think we need to get more comfortable with fear, which is why I put out that video. Like, why? I mean, my whole channel and all my videos are trying to promote that, but especially the one I did on Are You Willing to Be New, where I talked about how I was super scared to make videos and then I just did it. We have to learn how to be a bit more comfortable with our fears. We have to, because fear holds so many of us back. It holds us back. You can be living the tiniest life, the tiniest life, never doing anything new, staying in the same place for 40, 50, 60 years because of fear. Because of fear, when like everything you want is just on the other side of it. It's just on the other side of it. You just have to get through it. Just get through the fear. And it's possible. I think a lot of us, we struggle to believe that it's possible to get through fear. We let fear be this massive wall, the Great Wall of China, that's going to stop us from doing anything we want and from feeling joy and from feeling peace, you know? But it doesn't have to be. Like, we do have to get... like, I think a huge goal in life, or the one purpose of life, is to get more comfortable with fear. Just allow fear and move through it anyway. So that's been a huge theme this year. And also this was probably a year where you may not have seen a lot of achievements in your external life. You may have gotten less external validation. You may not have gotten as much external validation. You may not have achieved as much on the outside of yourself, you know. You might not have ticked things off the list of success, of traditional success. It might have felt like a nothing year. It might have felt like not much happened. It might have felt like it was just a lot of like dredge and a lot of like icky feelings, and that was it. But that's still an accomplishment, because the ability to sit through icky feelings, the ability to sit through uncomfortable feelings, wield so much power that you can't even see right now, but you will see it next year. I know you'll see it next year, because now you're different. And you have to move differently, don't you? I had a thought recently, like just today, that like I think a lot of people are being shown what absolutely cannot enter 2024. What absolutely is not coming with them into 2024. I think a lot of us are being shown that right now. So if not right now, then like during December, you know, right now we're in the energy of like, there's probably something that's been annoying you. It's annoying you and it's been annoying you. This is not a new thing. It's been annoying you, and it's annoying you to show you this thing. It's not coming with you into 2024. We're done. You're leaving it. Leave it behind, because you're different now. And that can be uncomfortable to accept, because newness is so uncomfortable and so scary. But remember that you are safe, you are loved, and there's always something or someone watching over you lovingly. So the universe is benevolent. We live in a benevolent world. We live in a benevolent universe. So you're always being held, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it feels like you're all alone and there's no one else that can help you, but you're always being held. You can trust me on that. And I hope this year has shown you that somehow. I hope it has. If it hasn't, I'm telling you right now, like, you're always being held. And remember that as you move into 2024. Remember that. And remember to be who you are now. Don't be who you were at the beginning of this year. Don't be who you have been. Be who you are now, in the present moment, now. Okay, we're about to enter a brand new year. It's now. This is when we do the reflecting, and then we let it go. Once you get into January, February, it's a new year. And you're allowed to be new. Embrace being new. Even if it's difficult, even if it's uncomfortable, embrace being new. Even if people have things to say about it, even if other people are uncomfortable with you being new, you're still allowed to be new. And that's one of the purposes of life, to be new, be born again and again and again and again, new, so you can have the whole breadth of experiences instead of just this one tiny experience that you're only allowing yourself to have, that you're limiting yourself to have because of fear. So this is, I know sometimes when we go through intense sort of spiritual experiences, or we grow spiritually, meaning we grow internally more than externally, it can be hard to feel validated. It can be hard to feel like you've done anything. It can just feel like you've just been a mess and you were just a mess. But it's about how you go through the mess. Remember that. It's about how you move through the mess. I think because we're such visual people as humans, we want to touch the tangible and the things we can touch and we can see, we forget that it's about the journey and how we move through the mess, as opposed to what exactly happens in the mess. It's how we move through it. Do we let things go, or do we hold on to all the pain and discomfort and fear that it brought up, and we just let it make us smaller? Or do we allow ourselves to move through it? So yeah, don't forget who you are now. Allow yourself to be new right now and moving forward into the new year. Also intentions. I enjoy I think time isn't quite real. I think that might have been a thought that's entered your mind at some point in your life. However, I think the end of the Gregorian calendar year allows us to, marking the end of this year gives us the space to consolidate how we perceived things this entire year and just put an end to it. Say, we're closing this. Now, in this new space, what do I want? Who am I going to be? Intentions are super powerful in this period of time. Be intentional. Be intentional about what you want. I guess that is what resolutions are about, but be intentional. Yeah. Set intentions. Say, I want this to happen. My word of the year is this. What I'm focusing on next year is this. And try and write it down somewhere. Try and capture it somewhere. Even if it's on a text to someone. It's better if it's on your own. I won't lie to you. Planning and preparing for the year ahead is way better when you do it in solitude, as opposed to when you post it as a caption on Instagram. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. So yeah, try and do it alone. That's the most powerful way to enter into a new year and into a new space, like just setting intentions on your own in solitude, because we're a bit more comfortable with being alone now, right? I hope. I imagine you might be after this year. And don't forget yourself when you're alone. Don't forget, don't just move on from this year and just forget who that person was. Forget what that experience was like, how you experienced yourself when you were on your own, in those moments where it was just you and you. No one else could understand what you went through. You were just alone, and it was terrifying. But I hope it was also freeing in some way. I hope it was also freeing, because there is a freedom to being able to exist away from judgment, away from perception of other people, away from other people's ideas of who you are, of who they are. It's nice to just be, and that's a really important place to be in and to honor in your life. So continue to honor that as you move forward. I hope you got something out of this. I was just talking. I was really just talking. So I hope you got something out of this. Happy holidays. Have a happy new year. And I will see you in the new year. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in 2024. Bye.